So it's 8:08 on the 8th, which I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm not just sitting there waiting for it to become 8:08. I just was listening to a video and was just like, oh God. Um, I just clicked off of it. It's 8:08 on the 8th. So synchronicities. The hold on just a second. My daughter was asking me about Max because he's doing bad. I'm really now I see why the vet was acting the way she was about, because the whole it felt very much like she was looking at me like I was very ignorant and and kind of teetering on cruelty out of my ignorance to put him through anymore. And now I see why, because yeah, he's going quickly. And now it seems like, dang, Tuesday's so far away. We gotta get through today. I may call in the morning. We'll see how it goes today and tonight. And see, I may just go and see about getting him an appointment tomorrow. And just go, just me and him. And because my daughter won't be here till probably the evening, or early evening, or late afternoon. And my brother is just getting here, and he has the movers tomorrow. But I think his body would be okay overnight. When Lucy died, she was definitely sitting there for a few hours before they came and got her. Because they came and got her, and they were going to do an autopsy to try and figure out what happened. And then they were going to cremate her for me, because it's it was happened at the Humane Society when they do those. Well, in Spokane, they would have these events where they would put out vouchers so you could get your dog neutered, and so I got one of those vouchers, and I went for one of those event things. And so when Lucy died, then they felt horrible. That surgeon, I ended up going to her clinic out of, it was like in Colville or something, and I took Stella to her. I knew she would be, like very careful and stuff because of what had already happened. And it was very traumatic, and they let me be in there a lot. And then I got a hotel, and I went and stayed there, and then I went back and got her and stuff. So anyways, wasn't like I thought. I mean, what it ended up being is that I've talked about before, she had a compromised immune system because she was in her mom's womb with a bunch of dead puppies. So, and I wish I would have known that. And if I would have known that, we could have probably, treated her with a bunch of antibiotics ahead of the surgery or something. But anyways, everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, just like what's happening with Max. And so he was starting to really show pain. And he keeps doing this itching and crying. So I know it's hurting. So my daughter last night, she's just like, give him some pain medicine. So I'm giving him Stella's pain medicine. And he slept. They all slept. I'm on the edge of the bed, and they're all, well, Stella's on her bed, thank God. And then I had Archie by my head, and then Max by my body, and then Ruthie by my legs. And they're all sleeping all cozy, all spread out on whole. They've got most of the bed, and they're all spread out all nice, cozy, and sleeping. I'm on the edge with a headache, just being woke up every little bit. And I'm just like in the craziest dream too. I really thought I would remember. It was so insane, and it was like I was trapped in this dream world, which there's other people now who are speaking or talking about the attacks on some of us that are, just like some people. I mean, everybody looks at, like one girl was talking about the skull communicate brain thing or whatever. It's frequency attacks, whatever. It's some weird thing that when you're at the frequency that they're doing it, it's the same kind of thing as, because one night she said that she was being attacked, so she tried to go to sleep, and something came in to that world, and And I said, well, I always just open my eyes. And she said that's why she was up all night. She couldn't sleep because it wouldn't stop. And when I was having that whole situation happen with the eyeball thing, I talked about that a while ago. It was just like every night. If I even shut my eyes, I was just like, they just kept coming at me and coming at me. So anyways, I wasn't the only person this is happening to. But, so on Max, so he was, doing this itching, kind of trying to hit like in this area and crying. And then what was making me remember was he's been doing that for a long time. And I was like, I kept going and trying to look in his ear and clean his ear because I kept thinking, well, he's got an ear infection or something. And then he'll start licking his leg. And I was having a really hard time getting medicine in him. I put some in his water, and he doesn't get enough water in. He just keeps lapping it. And so then he went and laid back down on the bed, and he was doing it and licking his paw. And so I put the medicine right on where he was licking. It was pissing him off too. He was like, stop it. And then he'd lick it off, but it got him to where he could sleep last night because he could not get comfortable. He kept jumping up, moving around. He'd come snuggle by me. Then he'd get up and he'd move. He was just, he was so uncomfortable. I felt so horrible. And, but that thing of itching right here, and I didn't know, so whatever it is, and it could be, if he has a TUMR, if he's got TUMORs in here, then there's a lot of nerves. So when they're pressing on a nerve, then that's going to cause shooting pain. So, yeah, he's uncomfortable. That's all I know. And I can totally see now why the doctor was, acting like, come on, lady. And I was like, well, how long do you think he has? Like a month, maybe? She's like, no, a couple weeks, maybe. I was like, oh, crap. Because the sinking in thing is so indicative of, like, we're at the end here. But now when I look backwards, stop! And Archie will not leave him alone. Hey, knock it off. You want a little of this, mister? Leave him alone. And so when I look back, then I'm like, dang, man, he came to me sick. He freaking came to me sick, and I had no idea. I mean, you don't get a 6-year-old dog and you're thinking, oh, he's got cancer for sure. It's like, and when I was taking him to the vet, it was just like, I mean, they weren't even looking at that. They weren't even thinking that. But, I was talking about Stella had her bucket out here with rainwater. She always had one in our cabin, and so this bucket I had out there is the same bucket, and she kept going and looking at it for water. So I was like, oh, well, I should let it fill up with water again. So I put it in a spot where a lot of water drips down, and so it filled up with water the last rainstorm. And so anyways, I was thinking this morning, it's not just like I was thinking, you get a communication. Communication shows you and tells you things all the time. Just like when I'm sitting there trying to figure out, how do I get the medicine in? And they show me, put it right there on his leg. And I was like, oh yeah, good idea. It's like, I'm not just coming up with all this stuff. There's a higher mind, a higher communication that you tap into that gives you ideas, that tells you how to maneuver. So, anyways, this morning that it was, I was thinking about this stuff because I was going to show it. So this is what he's been on for, I don't know if you can see, for the past over a year. Well, like a year. This stuff. And there's 2 parts. You have to mix it at one part. This is what I've been talking about, the CHDX. And so it is, which in other countries they've found cures even the Ebola, so that's crazy. So you take how many drops you're going to put it in here, then you take the drops of the other one, you put it in here, mix it up, and then you pour it in their water. And so I mix a gallon of water with this stuff every day, and then I pour that into their water when I give them water. And I use that gallon jug. And so he's been on something that, could have been curing him if that was what he was supposed to have happen. But, I don't know, there's a lot more significance. Like, of things, you know. Sometimes the things aren't as you think they'll be, but there's a reason that they are the way they are. And I don't know if it has to do with just his mark in society is me talking about this stuff. I don't know. So, anyways, but this morning when I was thinking about, I'll show this stuff. And I was like, oh, I'll put this in Stella's water out there. Because I was like, man, drinking the rainwater. But this, you could go get a glass of lake water and put this in, and it makes it drinkable. Whatever the word is. I can't think of the word. And it's funny, too, because I got up late today. But I'm just, like, out of it, man. I'm so tired. Every day I'm just so tired. And I feel so out of it. I feel like I'm barely in this world. And everything just is so weird, man, in this world. So anyways, we're going to go through today. And then I was even thinking, well, we'll make it a good day. It's supposed to be really sunny. And we'll walk down to the river and stuff. And then I was thinking, just the way of thinking of like, oh, yeah, well, we'll make it a good day for the cancer patient who's miserable. Like, we'll give him a good day. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It just seems kind of like very three-dimensional kind of theory, like, oh yeah, well, he'll have a good day. I was like, well, we can hope. So, anyways, yeah, it's crazy too because it's been such a internal battle. Like I keep looking, like, is he getting better? Does it seem like he's better? Does it seem like his head's growing bigger? And thinking like maybe I should just wait. Maybe my daughter's gonna come and go, oh no, he's doing good, and then I'll just wait longer. And then it was just like freaking a little while later, and it was just like, oh my God, he is doing so much worse. And so then it's like, no, he's not doing better. He's not gonna do better. He's not getting better. And so you just gotta let him have peace. Let him shed his body and go on with his spirit. So, anyways, and, you meet up again anyways. You always meet up again. And I'm sure he'll still be hanging around for a while. He'll still be hanging out with the other dogs and stuff. He'll probably, as they go up to visit his grave, that he'll go with them. It'll be a whole thing. But, anyways, so, I'm trying to think because there was like a bunch of things I was going to talk about. For one thing, the weird airplane situation, the Southwest flight, where it's almost like, for there to be such a huge drama on this flight, and a lot of people are concerned, and a lot of people are saying all sorts of things. It just is kind of like, are they filling airplanes full of, is it like a show? Is it all just a big show, and some people know and some people don't? And because people who work in the industry, then I guess there's all sorts of report. Everybody's trying to talk to them, trying to talk to people on the flight, everything. And they're saying that this is never, this is a whole new thing. Heads up, heads down, hands up, heads down, hands up. They're just heads down, hands up, heads down. And they do remove somebody. So I don't know what the hell was going on. It seems that nobody knows what was going on, not even the people on the flight. So I don't know what they moved. They were headed one place. They turned them, took them somewhere else. So I don't know if this is going to be like, well, we found out that there was one of those TRR. They were going to crash that plane. I don't know. Everything is such a big drama. The stuff with it just keeps going and going with our WW3 and getting more crazy. Which, by the way, when I went, because yesterday I was sitting here, I was just looking through TikToks, and my algorithm is jacked anyways. And I was just getting so bored, and the dogs were snoozing. And all of a sudden I heard, like, look at your bank account and see if your check is in there early again, because it's not supposed to be there till Monday. And I look, and it was there. I was like, how weird. Maybe it's because it's my last few months of it. And they're like, just give it to her early. Hurry, let's just rush this. Let's just get rid of this chick. We've been paying her a long time. And but it was there early. So I was like, oh, hell yeah. I'll just run to the store now. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It's Saturday. Oh, that would suck, man. And and go to Costco Saturday? Dang. And I look at the time, it's only like 9:18 in the morning. I'm like, oh, it's early though. I could just rush. I could hurry. And so then I start gathering my stuff. Ruthie immediately is up like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you going? What's happening? What's happening? She's just on my ass all the time. And so I'm trying to take out my boots, come back in. Go take out my wallet, come back in. Take out, just keep going and doing this stuff. So it wasn't like a quick run in the bathroom, put on my clothes, and run out the door. I had to do it in increments. But I got out my stuff. I think I got it all done in like 10 minutes. There's something weird, so weird with time too. So I think I got it all done in like 10 minutes, and I was out the door and drove up, got in and out of Costco. This is like 15 or 20 minutes. I stopped and got gas while I was at Costco. And which gas has gone up. And I saw somebody putting on a thing. Gas is going to go up 40 cents, and it's going to go up another 40 cents. It's going to be a big old thing. So if you need gas, get out and get gas now, because it's about to just keep going up and up and up. And then somebody showed a thing in California. It was $10 a gallon, $9.99 a gallon. I was like, what? That sucks, man. And so anyways, and my brother's pulling that big old trailer with his big ass truck right now. It's like, geez, that's gotta cost a pretty penny. My daughter's coming, but she drives a Prius, and that doesn't take very much gas, because the whole thing with the Prius isn't just a battery thing. The way it works is it recharges itself while it goes or something. I don't know. She never has to plug it in. It's not ever been a thing. So, anyways, but somebody, my lawyer, when I had to go over to Seattle and get more tests done, and she drove me over there in her Prius, and she was explaining to me about how it worked. And so, anyways, but that was a long while ago, and I can't, not that, but it doesn't have to be plugged in. It somehow recharges itself with movement. So, it probably is really good, but she doesn't have to use a lot of gas. She can go long ways. And, so, anyways, I don't remember, it was like 90 miles for a gallon. It's pretty far. I don't remember, but she does really good on the gas. So, anyways, but if you need some, you're supposed to go get some now. And also, there's supposed to be a big skyrocket in food, all sorts of things. And then we got all these people on the TARRIF, and we need to end this. This is so crazy. And then you got, which this could be the weekend of the crash, because The Rock, this black, they put a halt so nobody could remove money. There's something going on with the money thing, and it's coming like out of left field. And so there's something happening big this weekend, so we'll see what happens Monday. And so that could have been like why my check was in early, so I could go and get all this stuff done before it stopped. I don't know, because it will be a thing when this goes. The cards and stuff won't work. So if you need stuff, it might be a good idea to go get it now, because things won't work, and we don't know how long. There's already been supposedly some attacks on some grids and stuff. This big ass tornado came out of the blue. Every single video I've seen, don't even hear any sirens, nothing. It was like they had no warning. I think it was Michigan, and it went through and just caused a whole lot of destruction. It wasn't a whole bunch of death, but it was a lot of destruction. And of course, two of the people who did get killed, it was really sad, a mom and a daughter in their car, and their car got pulled up and thrown somewhere, and they both got killed. But there was more people who got killed in it, but it just came out of nowhere, and it was caused chaos. There was a lot of animal farm damage. Like, there was a lot of damage. So, and then yesterday I saw another place where a tornado was coming in. I could hear sirens in that one, but I don't know what they got going with the tornadoes. And there's somebody who is saying that their earthquake is going to happen. I think the Madrid fault line. He was showing this whole thing, man. It was like, because this is going to hit this, and then this is going to cause this to go, then this is going to go. He said at best case scenario it would go this way, but if it goes this way, blah, blah, blah. It was just like this whole thing. And he was showing the map and the destruction, which, again, on this map, I'm like right on the edge. Like, I will be either under the water or I will be waterfront property, like more than just what I am now. So, anyways, I'm not sure, but he was saying, I think it's the 14th of this month. He was saying that, I don't remember if it was the Madrid one, but he was like, the one that's on the Mississippi thing. He said that the country's going to be split in half, and the East Coast is going to change. East Coast, if it's split in half, the East Coast is going to be much smaller because it's going to be a smaller thing of land because the water's going to come up this side and this side. So it's just going to be more of a narrow kind of thing. On the West Coast, though, it comes up in that weird shape. It comes up like a big thing. So there's going to be the top, like a little part of Washington State, part of Idaho, Montana. Montana seems to be a pretty safe space. And Colorado is going to be janky. I think Wyoming seems like it's going to be pretty safe. I think Utah's gets messed up. Arizona and Nevada, part of New Mexico get messed up. So it's going to be a lot of, but once one thing happens, it's going to cause the other thing. It's going to be all, like he was saying, within weeks of each other, all this stuff is going to happen. So once one thing starts happening, it's all going to just start going. So I don't know. I mean, we have so many people who are all trying to say this date, and that date. And so I don't know, this stuff is coming. And I just don't know when, but it definitely feels like things are getting closer and closer and closer. It feels like everything's closing in on us. So I don't know how it's all going to play out. We have a lot of shit going on. This kind of just irritated me yesterday, which I was just like, what? So this video I came across yesterday, and it was some young girl. I don't know. She was like, this one was a young girl. This is two different ones that I'm talking about. So this one was the pink-haired girl, and what is her? She's got a handle. I think she's on a few different platforms. I'm not sure. But anyways, so she was on a podcast. And the podcast was, I don't know what they were questioning her about. And it's like, dude, why do you even have her on your podcast? So then the argument on this podcast, so this is the clip I saw, is he's asking her something about maybe men being a what are those girls called now, that sugar babies or something? Maybe it was a question, something about that. I don't remember what it was, but it seemed like it was something about men. And she goes off topic or something and starts saying, well, I'm famous. And he's like, what? You're not famous? What are you talking about? And she's like, well, yeah, I am. And he was, he's like, I get 1 billion views. I'm in the top 10 podcasts there is in the, I don't remember if he said the world or the country. I'm one of the top 10 podcasts, and I get 1 billion views a week. And I'm not even famous. What are you talking about? You're famous. And she's like, well, I am. And so I went and looked her up. I was like, where is this line of, because there's all these people out there who think they're so famous, but you're famous to your fans. Your fans know who you are, but the rest of us don't know who you are. And so, and she had less than 200,000 followers. And so I'm looking at her videos, like, what do you do that you're so famous for? And it was lip syncing. All her videos, and she's not even good at it. I can't even tell you how many of these people who lip sync who are not even good at it. Their mouths are not going exactly, like, practice more. Like, this is the weirdest world. I can't even get over it. But so she thinks, she's super famous for being lip syncing. And because she has like 200,000 followers. And the thing is like you are known to the people who follow along with that, but the rest of us don't know who you are, just like him. And he's got you on his podcast. It's like, what do you even have her? Like, how'd you even pick her? Like, what is happening here? This is so odd. And I definitely don't know who he is or what he's talking about. But whatever the topic was, it was like, well, he's not a kind of podcast I would listen to anyways. I don't know if it's one of those men versus women podcasts or what it was going on. But anyways, I just thought it's so strange how this whole fame thing, you know, what people think, I don't know, it's weird. And so then that was the day before I saw that video. Yesterday, I saw this other one. And this girl, she is, it was very strange. She's sitting all like huddled up in this chair with a hood on, with this big fur. I don't know. It just seemed extreme, whatever she had going on. Which, you know, I'm intrigued. Like, what are you doing? What is this all about? And she's talking. And she has very, well, she is from like Nantucket or something. So she's like, you know, she's one of these, like, we go to the Hamptons kind of situation. I don't even know if they go to the there's other, like the Nantucket or whatever. But one of these Boston elites or something. And Boston rich kids, because it's like, it's her dad is rich, like, it's not her or her family or whatever the hell. And it's not like she went out in the world and made her fortune. And but it's that kind of way that she talked and stuff, in a kind of a condescending arrogance or something. I don't know. It was just kind of like, it was a certain tone. And so in this video, I think it was this one, she started saying she's going, maybe it was because I went onto her account to look and see, like, I don't remember what she was talking about, but I was like, well, what's up with this girl? Like, what is this? This is a podcast? Because it was a podcast. And I was like, why are you all huddled? Is it cold in there? And why do you have a hood on? Why do you have like this fur coat? Like, it's very odd. And so, and why you all sit like, well, I'm sitting odd in mine, but anyways, so I went and looked on her page, and I saw, and I was thinking it was the first video I saw, but because she's talking about that she had gotten a boob job, but she was like showing her chest at that point, not naked, but showing her chest, which her boobs looked pretty big. And so she said she had gotten a boob job less than a year ago, I think. And but she was, you know, didn't want to go too big. I was thinking, that's pretty big. And but now she's decided she wants to go bigger and change the shape. So she's going back in to get another surgery on her boobs, which there's some girl who was on TikTok who she was doing her whole big thing of going and getting one of these, you know, like, what is it called? I think they're mom bod do-over or something. All these people are like, you know, well, now it's my time. I'm going to go get my whole body redone. I'm going to go get my face, all this stuff done at one time. And so she was doing that. And she went, I don't remember where hers was, somewhere, like maybe it's like Michigan or something. She says the doctor's name and stuff. I mean, this whole thing, her whole platform is preparing for this, showing about it, talking about her appointments and all that. And I don't know what she did before that on her thing. If she just talked about how miserable she was or whatever, and now her husband's paying to get this stuff done or whatever. And so she went and she got it all done, came out of surgery, and then they gave her pain meds, and she had to be pulled off life support the other day. And so she they brain deaded her, which that's even not even a real diagnosis. So that whole thing is odd in itself. But Archie, why don't you just come and sit down, okay? Just quit. He just keeps going, staring at me all over the place. Just come and sit down. He's in a mood. So, oh God, this morning, Stella wants the door open out there, so they all go running out, and then 3 of these ones take off. I think the only reason they came back is because they knew there was food. or they would have been gone a long time. Because when I was calling them, they wouldn't come back. Fucking bitches. So, anyways, so this lady, she is gonna go get. So the one lady, she went to go do the surgery thing, and she didn't make it out alive. She died, and the husband did a video. I think he's done a couple videos now since talking about what happened, and he said, and I still have to pay for it. So you have to pay for all that, and then you bring home, then you got to pay for a funeral too. So yeah, it's crazy, and they probably convinced him to donate, and they'll go make money off of that, and not give any for, it's just, the system is so atrocious. It's like, God dang, man, in this search for perfection, like, make me perfect, doc, do what you can. It's like, especially when you put in perspective, like these Megan Foxes and stuff going in there. And this lady wasn't hideous. I mean, she looked fine. And, but, she wanted to look better, I guess. And I don't know how much of it had to do with her body. I know in one video, because I keep seeing her videos now, now that she's dead. I didn't see them before. And, because now people keep sharing them, because now she's really made a wave. And and one of them was this body compression thing. So I think she was getting a lot of work done on her body to tune it up or something. I'm not sure. It was a big thing. It was big surgery, and people were talking about it. So anyways, now she's gone. And now this girl, she's like, well, yeah, I'm just going to go get them made bigger. I'm just like, it is so risky, man. People are doing these things to risk their life in order for beauty standards. And besides the fact, not everybody is into the same beauty standards. Not everybody looks at big boobs and goes, hell yeah. A lot of guys do not like them. And you find out when you have them. So anyways, I was going through her videos and seeing, what's the deal with this person? Who is this? And she's a podcaster. And she has, this is what got me. She has 22,000 followers on TikTok. On TikTok, I have 45-some thousand followers. And my videos, I'm lucky if I get a couple hundred views. Her videos had 30,000 was a low one. 133,000 views, like extreme, which 100% shows that they push certain videos. Well, all my videos constantly, they send me a message and say, for $24.99, you can have 700 extra views and stuff like that. So they send you things that you can pay to get more views, which I don't do. It's like, fuck you, man. So I was thinking, well, maybe that, because she's rich, maybe she's paying, because how does somebody who's 22,000 get so many more views? Like, are you freaking joking? So that just irritated me more with this bullshit on social media. Is so manipulated, so pushed, what they want us to see and stuff. And so when I was looking at her stuff, a lot of times she's just sitting there in sunglasses. A lot of times she pulls her hair back so it looks almost like she's bald. But she seems to have long hair, but she pulls it real slickery. And wears sunglasses and stuff. And then the people who come on to her podcast, it seems to be a bunch of other, Nantucket kids talking about life as a rich person. And but she was telling some stories. She was telling this one story that I was listening to, and it was her and her friend, and this was this A-list actor. I think she called him an A- list actor, which I don't know if the person who they were saying it was, it's like, I think that he's not A-, but I don't know all this bullshit. So she was talking about that her friend, so they're on the Nantucket beach or whatever for the summer, and they go to Union College, and so them and all their friends are there at her family's mansion or something, and having their summer. And so they're out on the beach, and one of her friends gets approached by this man, who comes up and says, "Hey, I'm with so and so, and he'd like to take you out. He'd like to get to know you. He wants to meet you." And she looks over and she sees so and so, and she says, "Hell yeah!" And he's like in his late 30s, and she's an adult, but she's 19, and so she ends up going, and then they end up seeing each other for a while, and then she gets bored of him and wants to go out with boys at the college. It was like a summertime fling to her, but he was like, she said that they even she quit taking his calls and stuff, and they're sitting there at college, and then there's a big announcement that comes across the speaker, and it says that so and so is coming to film a movie. They're going to be here, blah 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 blah, and so they're filming on campus. Excuse me, put his collar on him because he ran off this morning, so I'm prepared now. I wasn't prepared at then. And okay, are you getting comfortable? Are you comfortable? Are you good? Oh, it was a rough time. So anyways, so the guy comes and films and gets her back, talking to her. So it was all his ploy so he could get to talk to her again. And they thought, man, that was extreme. And plus there was no movie that ever came out, so it was like, what? And but so that was supposed to be James Franco, which yeah, I would say he was pretty famous. I mean, he still is pretty famous, but I think, is he one of the guys that went to jail? Like, is he in jail? I'm not sure. He's even got a brother who's in acting too, but I'm not sure. He's definitely had accusations on him. And but the thing is that he was she was 19, even though he was in his late 30s. And then she went willingly and stuff. And then because a couple days ago, another girl came out, and she was saying that she was at a like a kid fair. So at this big kid fair of their city, where it's like to take your kids to this big thing, and this person was there. And she said it was really strange because he kept being there, like watching all the kids, and people come up and want to take pictures and stuff with them. And she said it was just really strange. But she was only 14, so she decides she wants to get a picture with him. So she goes up, and he is all like, "Ooh, you look good, baby," and stuff. So he was, I think she went out with him, or he, whatever, something happened. And so he did something. I'm not sure if she went out with him, if he was just coming on to her, or whatever it was. And but that was Jared Leto, and she was 14. And that's not the first story I've heard about Jared Leto being into the wee ones. And so I don't know, what's going on with him or whatever. And I had talked about before, that I was approached by somebody off of the team of, it was Harrison Ford, and when I was in Mexico on the beach. And and then he came, and then came again. And he didn't just stop the first time, because I didn't. I said, oh, haha, nice. I didn't go. And then he came again and tried to get me to go again. And I was just like, no, I just didn't go. I don't know. Maybe if Harrison Ford was standing over there waving at me, who knows? Maybe I would have said, okay, well, I'll go over and talk to him. But I don't know why these guys, like, their ego's so fragile, they have to have other people approach you because they can't handle it. They can't handle rejection. I don't know. But anyways, but the thing is also, I was in my early 20s. I was probably 23, 24. So I wasn't a little kid either. And then, and he was probably like, I don't know, probably mid 30s or late 30s or something. So he wasn't like a perv. Like, when you hear these different stories, it's like some of these guys, at least they're going for people who seem to be adult, and but some of them, is like when they're going after little kids. Because Jared Leto is not the only one. There's all sorts of these stories coming out. People sharing stories now of, because I guess people are more interested in listening. But anyways, yeah, to me, Harrison Ford wasn't a perv. Wasn't like I was like, oh no, gross perv. I know. I thought he was. I mean, this was in his prime time. You know, he was cute, and but I don't know. I mean, it just didn't. You know, I don't know. It didn't sit right with me or whatever. And plus, I had 2 kids. I was a mom with 2 kids, so yeah, I wasn't gonna go off with some guy to go meet some movie star. So some movie star could have his way with me and move on with his life. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm just gonna stay here on the beach with my family. And which it was my whole family was my mom, my aunt, my uncle, my brothers and sisters. It was a whole big bunch of people. And so anyways, that so anyways, that whole thing, I was just thinking about that because of listening to these different people's stories. And then there's a lot more with the stories of the pervs and stuff like that with the files. There's constantly people going through the files. And there's such a big thing still with Donald. And now it's like the division is becoming more bigger, more of a split. And it's really weird too, is because I think, you know, I mean, I speak my truth. It's not like anybody would be listening to me and be like, I wonder who she voted for. I wonder which side she's on. You know, but there's a lot of people out there who build their platform and they don't want anybody to know. Even that one, hers was huge too. I mean, she had like more than, I think she had like 7 million followers or something. Mama Tot. And hers was just as shallow too to me. It's like, oh, look at the shoes I bought. I'm going to go out to lunch. Let's go eat lunch together and stuff. There's so many people who do that kind of, just that's their videos. Let's go eat lunch and buy shopping stuff. And so I think hers was kind of like that. And which even she really plays up the southern accent, and apparently she doesn't even really have a southern accent like that. It's like, guys, come on, be real. Just be your real self. Try that. And so this was last year, I think, too. And so she said something. It was during one of the things that was going on. And she said something that made people start going, oh my God, she's MAGA. And so when you're building, like you've got a mix of these people. So you have both sides following you, and they are not, I don't know, it's weird. It's like it's not a thing until suddenly it's a big thing. It's like it's nothing until suddenly it is. And so whatever, you know, they're listening to her stuff, you know, because we're all the same, even though we want to think like who we voted for is that big a deal. But so whatever she did suddenly just pissed these other people off. And I don't remember, it was something about the trend. I don't remember what it was. But she just said, you know, this isn't right or whatever. And then the other people got totally pissed. And so all these people started doing videos attacking her. People started unfollowing her. Her following dropped. It went crazy. And it just, there's still people to talk about, you know, and people look at you like you're the phony. It's like like if that was so important to you, maybe you should have done a background check, you know. It's like, why do you live in an assumption world? Like, quit assuming, you know. And then the other side would be, start being real. Talk more real about things. Don't just be as phony all the time, you know. Talk about real stuff sometimes. And so many people on their platform, well, I don't ever talk about real things, but I really need to say this. That's going on all the time now. And so this girl, And I've seen her, and I can't remember what her name is. Cultivated Gizzards. I don't remember what her name is, but I've seen her a few times, and she always is like kind of angry. And she works at an emergency vet, and I don't know if she is a vet or she is an assistant. I don't know what she does, but she works at an emergency vet, and she's always talking about the ridiculous things that people do when they come in there. And some of the stories, because I've listened to some of her stories, and it is like, oh my God, what is wrong with people? Like right now, there's a lady who is training this German Shepherd, a 3-year-old German Shepherd, and she's training it. And the people who own it, they're paying for the training apparently, but they decided that they're going to go ahead and youth her because she's too reactive. Oh my God. Hold on. Excuse me. There you go. God's sakes. Archie, you're going to have to move. No, I'm sitting there. You are going to have to move over there. My Lord. This is my life. So, they all seem like, God, that's no fair. Okay, come back and sit in this little spot right here. And, so anyways, oh, now Ruthie's got to get in on something. It's like, oh my God, man. So anyways, whatever her name is, Cultivated Chicken something, I don't know. But she talks always about what goes on in this vets thing. And, you know, people will come in and ask to have their pets euthed all the time. And then they have all sorts of, like, things where these breeder, like, I don't know, there's so much weird stuff that she talks about that'll just, it's irritating. Of you know, the way people treat their animals. And the one where the lady's trying to find somebody who will adopt this dog that she's been training before these people youth it. It's like, you know, I guess apparently if you go into a vet, you say, well, it's a reactive, it bites people. So, you know, that's just okay, let's put them down. Let's not give them any more. So, anyways, there's a lot of that. And this lady talks about it because she works at a place where they do it. And she's told all sorts of weird stories that it's like, man, yeah, there's so much weirdness out there in the world. And she always is kind of angry. She just really is. And she's always saying, you know, she'll get in arguments with some of these people and call them out on their BS and stuff. But I don't know if that's just part of her stick or whatever. But she, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I don't even know, like, what I would have been thinking. Like, is she a progressive or is she a liberal? Which is it? I mean, she's just kind of an angry lady. Like, that's how I look at it. With, you know, who's burnt out on her job. And, but apparently, she said something where people started going, like, oh my God, she's mega. And so people have gone in and started attacking her, doing videos on her. And so now it's the, yeah, that's the same side. Yeah, it's the same ones that have decided, you know, that she is not worthy and that they are attacking her now. And she lost 45,000 followers. She had 545,000 followers, so she's lost 45,000 followers overnight. And Mama taught she was losing like 1 million a night or some crazy shit. And so now they're attacking her because of who she voted for at some point in time, and or her beliefs or whatever. And so again, I'm just like, man, people, maybe they need to be more, you know, so that if it's so important to these people that they don't follow you just right off the bat. Because if politics is so important to you, like I said, do a goddamn background check on somebody. Like, try and figure it out before you follow them, for fuck's sake. God, and then blame them. Like, how dare you, you traitor. It's like, maybe you should have done more research. But You can't just assume because you like somebody that they must be the same as you. It's why we got to accept everybody for who they are, for God's sakes. And so now Billie Eilish, she's being attacked and roasted, and she's losing all her followers, her fans or whatever, because she won't quit going in on the MAGAs and Donald. And now she's come out and said that all the MAGAs should all be held accountable, and they should face, like they should face prison time because they supported this. And so, yeah, she's really losing her thing. But it had already started when she came out and said, that we're living on stolen land or whatever. And then that tribe came out and said, yeah, your mansion's built on our land. You're going to give it back? So it's like, it's like people try and just make a point, but it's like, if your point isn't in alignment, it's going to blow up. So it's going to not, the energy is going to switch. It's like, it's not, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you have to be in alignment with the energy, and you can't just switch it. And things are not going to play out like they used to. Like you used to be able to do or say certain things because that was the tone, that was the frequency, that was the energy we were in. And then a lot of times, people would always be like, how do they get ahead? How do they have a good job? Because they're so negative or so hateful or so this or so that. And it would always be like, I don't get it. I'm a good person. Why aren't good things happening for me? Well, this was why. Because the tone, the frequency where we were at, was more in the building of the negative, the appreciation of the negative. And so now it is switching. And so when you try and stay in that kind of same tone, it's going to flip the other direction. Like they're going to start being good things are going to start happening for good people. And everybody's got good inside them, There's a lot of people are misdirected. A lot of people are playing parts. A lot of people, like, even on the Billie Eilish thing, I was like, I wonder if she is a part of just to do this to create, because a lot of it is, a lot of people, it's like they are the stone being thrown in to cause a ripple. So maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's not that ignorant, or maybe she did sell her soul. Maybe she was a product of the, she was a clone. Maybe she was from the start. She was one of those place people. Maybe she's one of the people who were around for thousands of years and now they're coming back in. I don't know. You just don't know the truth about all the different people. So it's hard to say, who's playing what and who's doing what. And that's why so much of it, you get yourself too caught up in it. You're going to drain yourself. You're going to pull all your own energy out. But that's what they want. They want to pull your energy. But that's why you got to kind of just sit back and watch and not get too caught up in it. And I'll tell you another thing. Talking about these celebrities. Well, for one thing, the Jim Carrey thing, it just keeps going and going and going and going. It's like, man, I don't know. Maybe they've got a really big thing coming up. A big drama that's going to happen. Because you'd think at this point that they would have him come out and say, something. But but I don't know. I mean, there's tons of people still saying, oh no, he's dead. I'm like, have they seen the other stuff? Or they just think that? Or is the other stuff fake? Like, I don't know, man. I just don't know at this point what the deal is, about some of these people. And but this is kind of weird is like Ariana Grande. Well, what made me think of it is Billie Eilish, because her brother is dating somebody who looks exactly like her. It's like, I don't know about that. Oh God, like how would you be kissing him, and how would you be doing anything with him? I mean, it looks just like your dad or your brother or your sister or something. That just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like, no. Like, I think if I was going out with somebody and they started reminding me of my brother or my dad or somebody, I would be like, oh no, I can't see you. No, this isn't going to work out because that just grosses me out. And even though, I mean, when it comes down to real life, incest, isn't really real because none of this is real. You are just keep going in with these same souls. So somebody's playing your brother, you've probably been married to in another life anyways. But anyways, it's, so it's just odd, but in this world, it feels very awkward. It's like, no, thank you. And so it's like, yeah, so his girlfriend looks exactly like Billie Eilish, which when I was seeing the Billie Eilish stuff today, I was like, this is another girl who looks like Megan Fox. And, she's got those, well, she's got really black hair and really blue eyes. And I don't know if she gets lip filler or whatever, but, I mean, she's a pretty girl. But she's very young to me. And when she very first came out, supposedly all organic, just online strumming with her brother and singing a song, and oh, she's discovered. And, but her music, she has this one song that I like, but even the video to that song is creepy. It's like she just was creepy music. So, I don't know, I'm not like a big Billie Eilish fan or anything, but so anyways, her brother's dating her lookalike, and, but the Ariana Grande, hers, so I think it's just her boyfriend, I don't think she's married to him, I think it's her boyfriend, but it could be her new husband, looks exactly like her brother. I was like, oh man. That is, I don't know. I just really, I don't even know, man. Our world is just like deep-seated weirdness. It's just like, man, it just kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. And I saw this video this morning too. So this girl, and she said that her and her dad were just looking on the files, and that her dad is he used to be a grower, and so he's like soil expert. He knows a lot about soil and the biology and stuff like that. And so they were looking at this hole like thing, and there was these bags, and so they were like zooming in to look at these bags, and they had some writing like compound, like what I say with that stuff, like the CHDX, which I think chloride is actually Cl. I don't think it's CH, but anyways, on the table, what is that called? I gotta see if I can see the word. Way too many words coming into my mind. The table of compounds that so it has like the different ones, and then when you mix different ones, then it's like CaCO2, and it's just like H2O. That's not just one, that's two different things. There's one hydrogen and there's two oxygens, and that creates water. And so when it's all about these atoms, I almost got it, the something table. Man, you're hurting my back, dude. And the periodic table. So on the periodic table where it has all the compounds, then when you mix them, then you get certain, and I've talked about this before, because that's what they're doing in the skies. They do it in our food, all this stuff. And then they create, mix a little of this and a little of that and see what happens. And, well, I'll tell you what happens. It makes us sick. And And then depending on our own chemical makeup, by our own DNA, our coding, that will affect us all in different ways. So that's where we're all a big experiment. Let's try a little this, let's try a little that. Well, these people, and then they could make a better target when they did, the 23, and let's pull in, let's get them all, let's find out what all their codes are. Let's see what works best. There's probably some little fraud in there in that lab with his little code on. Oh, look, this one does this, and this one does this. So use this over here, use this over. It's like these little freaks. So I hope he's already met his maker, man, not freako. He wreaked havoc for decades on us. He's I can totally see why he was pulled up on the stage in 2020. Is for his opinion. So yeah, freak. So, he is the epitome of, I think he was Mingo in another body, but I think, he is the epitome of, he's just like this little guy who just hated everybody, probably was bullied in school and decided to grow up and become the evil scientist and get even with us all and make money off of doing it because the corporations pay big money for this information. And so, so this girl and this dad were looking, and she said then all of a sudden her dad started crying, and she's like, "What? What's wrong? What's wrong?" And he said that is the compound that they had there, because they were looking up the names and stuff on there. He said what they have there is what you use to cause quick decomposition. So he said all you need is that, a little bit of a lime, I think some limestone or something like that, and you dissolve one just real quick in the ground. So that's I don't know, this place is just, there's so much creepiness about this place, but what's the wildest part of it is that we come here willingly. That's how much we got to get it in our mind that nothing really happens. You're just here to experience this world, to play a part, to feel what it's like, because we come here, even though we know, because believe you me, when you are outside of this place, you know what's going on in this place. Just like we are watched all the time. There's always people watching us. There's always beings watching us. This isn't like a secret place over there that nobody knows what's going on. No, you know what's going on when you come here. And then you come here for life after life after life after life. So I don't know if it's like, well, I'm going to play this part, I'm going to fight them, I'm going to play this part, I'm going to fight them again, and then you go through, this idea, because really in the big scheme of things, I mean, it's not like we're coming here trying to turn the dark to light, because you need the dark to have the light exist. Both things need one another. Without one, you don't have the other. And so you need the dark and the light. It's a team situation. And it's the yin to the yang, It's the AC to the DC. And so it's not like we're coming here to conquer them, to take over. The light's coming in, we're going to take over the dark. And in this case, where it is kind of that conclusion, that is the experience that we're here for, but it is that it's like you're rising out of the dark. So it's not like we're conquering the dark. You are rising out of the dark. So the dark still remains, but you are coming out of it. And that's when you start realizing, like, oh, there's a lot of shit holding me in it, and that's because you've been, in here experiencing for a long time. And that's what it's all about, though, is that we come here to experience, to understand ourselves, to see ourselves. So we really come in for the experience. And so for us to come in willingly and knowingly to go through what we go through here just shows you is it's not so horrible and scary as when being the little peon in the spacesuit feels, because we feel helpless, we feel hopeless, we feel like everything's out to get us, we can't get ahead, we can't do this, we can't do that. But we're here to experience what will you do when you can't get ahead? What how far will you go into the dark? Can you be kind when everything seems to be going wrong? And so there's a lot of things that you're here to experience or understand about yourself. And that's why you come into this place. You're not here to change the dark into the light. You're here to experience the dark and then find your way out of it. And you got to keep in mind too is that we can come into the dark, but they can't come into the light. That's the thing. And they try and, use us to see, they try and use, the light beings that are living in ignorance. They try and use them as a telescope to see into the light, to, there's more coming out about their what do they call these things? Their Stargate plan, whatever. They've always got these these words that they're working on this. And so they're trying to, because in some cases they were trying to break people, because they found that if you broke somebody, they would become more psychic. So in a lot of cases they were trying to break people. But there's also a lot of people who just came in, just like me. They just came in and was talking in telepathy to these other beings for my whole life, where it didn't seem weird at all to me. And then I had no idea, because I thought we all lived like that. I had no idea. And then when you start telling people, and people are like, what are you talking about? There's nobody talking to you. It's like, yeah, there is. They don't talk to you. It's like, no, crazy person. It's like, oh, so this doesn't, not everybody is talking to these other beings. Well, I didn't realize, that until in the more recent times, that they were looking for people who were talking to the other people so that they could use them as a telescope, so they can see into the light, so they can have communication. But kind of, when you think about it, what a scary place, though, when you just are in the dark, to always be, what's out there. And they don't get to find out. So they really can't. Just like, even if the firmament's going to break to set us free, but they aren't going to. They don't get set free just because we're set free. It's all vibration. Your vibration holds you. And they don't raise their vibration. They don't evolve. We evolve because we go through different experiences, and we grow and we learn all the time. So we're constantly evolving. They don't. Like, they've been playing these same characters for thousands of years, eons and stuff. So they don't go and die and then go and come back and keep doing that. No. And they will do any dirty trick to keep themselves going. So yeah, they're not evolving. They're not making their way to the light. That's what we're doing. And this just happens to be a big show. This happens to be a big thing right now. And that's why the dark is so desperate to hold on to us, to keep us in their world. Because, I guess probably to them, it's like they don't know how many of us are going. It's like, are they going to have anybody left to use and abuse? And there will be people who will stay. Then they will go back into other, who knows what world they're going to create next. And then I'm sure, once we've been living the good life for a while, we'll be like, well, I wonder what's going on down in hell. Let's go see. Let's go see what's the next game they've come up with. And that's where you go and you descend again. You go back in. You go back to see, like, what's up? I think I can maneuver through here. I've learned a lot. And so you'll try it again. And then every time it's like you got to refine yourself. You got to remember yourself. You got to pull yourself back into yourself, your quaintness. You got to pull into who you are and pull free from all of the chains that bind you, the dark that holds on to you. So it's all just a game. It's just a game. It's just the eternal game of life. It's not something that we need to sit here and be fearful of. Even if the frickin' in UKES over here where I'm at today, and we got below sky high, you just come on out and go like, okay, what's next? It's not like it's not something. The only ones that get super confused are people who are just confused. And once you know, it's not like you forget. Everything you know becomes a part of your code. So you can't forget stuff. It becomes a part of you. So you don't forget. All of a sudden you die, and it's like, well, maybe I won't remember. And it's like, no, you'll remember. So once you're consciously aware, you'll be consciously aware. And so, just choose right. Like, if it is like, don't go towards the light, I don't know. There's lots of people who are like, don't go towards the light. That's where they get you. It's like, I don't know. I think the light, I think the sun is the portal. I think that's the space that is used to get in and out of the firmament or something. So I think, we come through that, I think, to come into this space. So I don't know. Yeah, but, you just be consciously aware, when you're talking to your guides or whatever. Don't be like, well, what's going on? Where am I? What's happening? Be like, oh, I've left that game. I've left that world. And now I'm in the real world. Because the real world is your dead world. And so that's the one you'll be more familiar with. And so anyways, but there's nothing to fear. You just go back home. And then you pick where you're going next, what you're going to do next, because that's what being alive for eternity does. It's like, what are we going to do next? Let's play some games. So that's what you do. And that is what has been known to create life. It is the creation of existence. So it's, us wanting to experience is what creates the expansion of existence. So it's a good thing, even though there's so many people right now who are like totally panicking and, oh my God, we're going to be killed and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. And it's like, really, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to fear. This isn't your world. Your world is your dead world, or what they've told you is the dead world. That's your real world, where you're going to feel more alive than you feel here. And this is it's almost suffocating to your soul. And so, but this is their world, and they're stuck here, and we gotta leave here. So yeah. Catch the first flight out. So anyways, but yeah, it's not something to worry about. Whatever goes down, goes down. And I think right now it seems like a lot of people are just like, man, it feels good to get the hell out of here. And but it's always sad to the people who are left behind, And but that's a part of, what we go through to appreciate what it is to be alive. Because when you come into these places, to be alive is a lot of trauma and drama, and it's hard work, man. And you can feel overcome and overwhelmed by it. So anyways, just remember, it's not that bad of what they try and make us believe. It's just, and plus it's such a big show, man. And you don't even know what's real and what's not real at this point. It's like, it's just craziness. So anyways, we'll see what craziness happens today. And it can be leading us into tomorrow, it being this money crash. And I mean, any point in time, any moment, they could turn the power off. And then us be, sitting with no power. I mean, anything can happen in this period of time. And whatever happens, just, take that time to process. Don't let fear and don't let that take over you, because that's what they want to do. The dark wants to take you over, and they want to scare the shit out of you so that you stay here. They want you to get mad so you stay here. They want you to they want to fuck with you. And so, go against them, go against the grain of what it is they're trying to do, and stay positive and stay happy, and just keep in mind, keep perspective, man. That you're just here to learn, you're just here to grow, and you're out of here. You're on the first flight out. So don't worry about it. And but while you're here, keep in mind what you're supposed to be doing here and work on yourself. Because that's the big thing. If you want to, the more you work on yourself, the more you let go of, the higher you go. And so, definitely work on learning how to love yourself. Learn how to love everybody else. Boy, you can see, like, this is just getting crazy. I can't even believe the people, like, it's like, and they don't see that it's them. They think it's this person. Well, you've destroyed us now because it's like, you just watching your following, for God's sakes, this world, it's insane. People just be real too. Like, come on, people, just be real. And so, anyways, but learn how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody else, and learn how to have the day you want to have. Because, yeah, if you just sit in misery all day scared, it's going to feel pretty scary. It's going to suck. And if you just, kick it out of the way, kick it forward and move on with your day and look at the things. Yeah, like I'm skipping a lot of stuff now. I'm just like, nope, 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 nope. Like that's why I'm like, I don't know what all's going on with this WW3 thing. It's like, I'm not getting sucked into that. I'm not getting sucked into this whole political thing. I'm not getting sucked into any of it. It's just like, yep, it's happening. Yep, it's happening. See you later. I don't care. I've got bigger fish to fry. I've got my own shit going on. So, anyways, and we'll see what goes on with that today. I've drugged him up this morning, so I just want to try and keep him comfortable, especially over till we get there. I feel really bad now, and I totally could see why she was looking at me like that. Like, the way she was looking at me, she wasn't saying anything, but I could just pick up on, she's looking at me like, lady, come on, man. And now I see why, because, yeah, poor guy. So, anyways, we'll see what else happens today, and just, keep putting yourself into perspective. Don't let him consume you. Don't let the fear consume you. None of that, because there's a lot of people who are just swimming and paddling all through it and causing a big ruckus. So, just keep your wits about you, and then we'll talk about it tomorrow. So we'll see what happens today, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.